And what is going on YouTube? Just another gaming channel, bring you just another video. And so guys, you know, as I mentioned, I've created a new playlist and it's Destiny armor sets. So let me have a quick drink of my coffee. As you can see from the ship, we're going with Future Warcult. Now, I've put up the old Future Warcult armor set before, but I'm going to do it again, and I'll explain why as I'm heading down. So, the Future Warcult set I'm going to show you now is pre-Rise of Iron. Straight after I've done this video, I'm going to make the Rise of Iron version of the Future Warcult set. And what was interesting is this set that I'm about to show you was not the only set pre-Rise of Iron. After the April update, they introduced the spec. They basically redesigned all the faction armor, but you couldn't buy it with legendary marks. You can only gain it through packages. And I tell you what, guys, I grinded and grinded and grinded, and I could not get the full sets.
To the collapse. Someday we'll reclaim this place, right?
So I'm holding the sword here, as I thought you'd like to see a bit of the. This is without a default shader. Now, what I've actually done here, guys, is I've put the Cloak of Solitude on, so you can actually see how badass this old set of armor looks. Now, this is no shader whatsoever. Now, what I've noticed interesting about the armor sets since Rise of Iron is that the Titan Dead Orbit has, I don't know, at the very least 4 marks that he wears just from Dead Orbit. I'm assuming he's got 8 or 9 that are just Dead Orbit. I'm assuming that there's 5 or 6 different Future Warcult cloaks, because this Future Warcult this Future Warcult cloak here, Cloak of Imminent War, is not the one that you buy from the vendor. Now, so it's fascinating. So guys, I think this looks particularly good, this armor set, without a shader. I think it looks really good, but let's get it with a cloak on. And what we're going to do is we're going to, as per usual, we're going to look at that, and then we're going to add some shaders, and we're going to go through it. So I'm keeping this set of armor, and I'm keeping the new set. Now, ignore the level 351. I'm rocking about. I'm in my mid 370s with all the new gear on from the Iron Banner and stuff. So, but I've got to say, I think this is the colour scheme for Future Warcult looks absolutely brilliant, and because of the way they've mixed colours, certain shaders work really well with it. Anyway, so that's the default setting. So let's have a look at what the Future Warcult pre-Rise of Iron armor set looks like. Now, this video was up before, but I thought I'd redo them fresh. So for those that have now started to watch the channel, you don't have to look through 200 videos to find it, because these were done quite a long time ago. So the Infinite Lines mask, I think that's a brilliant looking helmet. You know, the Future Warcult scanning across in all its colours and glory. So we've got Intellect and Discipline. You guys know this is my favourite duo. Inverse Shadow, increased super energy gain from killing minions of the darkness. So that's just great. You kill anything basically, you get increased super energy. Now, when it says minions of the darkness, I assume, what does it mean by that? I think it means like when you're in strikes, for example, and there's, you know, there's like, you know, the strike, for example, and you go into the bit that you can't respawn. I think that's what's happening right there. Second thoughts, gain super bonus energy from special weapon kills on minions of the darkness. Now, I do apologise, that guy, some random guy was just shooting bullets at me, and it put me off there a little bit. I do apologise for that, as always it is. And Infusion, replenish health each time you pick up an overfly. So not a bad helmet set. Now, I love the fact that the arms, now these arms, one's blue and one's white. I think that's brilliant. The infinite line grips. Now, and I'm loving the texture here, guys. I'm loving the kind of metal arm plate attached just under the shoulder. I think that really works. Works really well. So we've got increased discipline and increased strength. Again, you know, I prefer the intellect and discipline. It's just personal preference. Fastball, increased grenade throw distance, always a good one. Always like that on my. You know, I either like that or faster melee punches. Those are the two that I prefer. Bonus grenade energy on melee hits. That's all. No, it's okay. And increased reload speed with scout rifles. You know, that's good because, you know, scout rifles are becoming more prevalent, and I do use a lot. I've got a lot of scout rifles. Whether I use them a lot, I don't know. But you know, I do have, you know, Jade Rabbit, Hung Jury, Taluna. You know, I do have a lot of scout rifles. So the chest piece, the Infinite Lines Vest. Again, I mean, just looking at this, this is a default. This is no shader. This is brilliant. So we have increased intellect and strength. Again, you know my feelings about that. Increased pulse rifle ammo and shotgun ammo. Now that's fine for me. I run shotguns a lot, and the pulse rifles, there's no time to explain. The bad juju, they're really good ones. Red Death. So actually, that's not too bad at all. And as you can see, I never quite finished leveling these up before the Rise of Iron came out, because I was so busy grinding for the newer sets. And I did actually get the new chest plate, the pre-Rise of Iron new chest plate, the Spectre version of the Infinite, and I got the boots as well. But unfortunately, I had to delete them because of lack of space. I'm actually gutted about that. So we've got arc recovery and increased armor on when using arc subclass. And finally, we've got the boots, the Infinite Line boots, discipline and strength. Sidearm and LMG. I would have been bothered about that in the past, but I've always liked LMG. That's great, but sidearms have become a real, like, you know, you don't want to fuck around with a sidearm, basically, guys. I'm not joking. I'm using them a lot in PvP, and I'm taking down shotgun. You know, I'll put a couple of rounds in with primary, and if I've got snapshot or whatever it is to swap weapons faster, is really useful. You can whip out that sidearm, bang, 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 and I've got a trigger finger and half, so these shotgun warriors don't know what's hitting them off at time. And unfortunately, because it's Iron Banner is the new game mode, picking up the crests, everybody's using shotguns, even more than usual, which I didn't think was possible. But everyone's a shotgun warrior, apart from me. I'm trying to keep my character level high, so I've got a sniper which I don't use, and then a primary. That's all I'm using to keep my level as high as possible, so that my drops are as high as possible. Trying to get raid ready. So guys, there we have it. Okay, so this is the old pre-Rise of Iron. It's not that old. It's only like a couple of weeks old. It's the pre-Rise of Iron Future Warcult set. Now, if you look there, I do have the Eon set. I'm not going to show you this right now, but that's the next video. But what we like to do, guys, you know what I like to do, is I like to have a look at some shaders on these bad boys. So that's the default. One of my favourite shaders was this. When I was playing with this set, I mean, there's something about this Autumn Splendor shader, and it works really well on the Future Warcult armor set for the Titan as well. I mean, I think that just looks magnificent. Something about the orange and the dark blue just work really, really well together. Okay, so we've got the old guard. Now the problem is, you know, we're going to struggle with the cloak. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the shaders with this cloak, and then we're going to go through the shaders again with other cloaks, just to show you what a difference it can make. Because it, you know, not only is it about functionality, but it's about fashion. We all know Destiny's about fashion, so the cloak doesn't go too well with that. Works great with that, you know, works absolutely brilliant with that. So, God of War. Now that actually looks badass, and you wait till you see some of the cloaks I had later. Doesn't work too well with the cloak, but we do get colour changes on the Future Warcult cloak. As you can see, the red neckline there and the top of the helmet's changed, so they are changing slight things with it. So we've got the yellow. Now I've always thought the yellow works, not with this cloak, but again you can see here they're changing the yellow, you know, and there is yellow in the cloak, so you know that's not too bad. We've got the Thunder Devil. Now the Thunder Devil just works on pretty much everything. Like even with the remaining yellows and blues, it just kind of looks badass, doesn't it? It's like you don't want to mess with me kind of attitude. it's got going on there. So Bitter Steel, this is one of the Dead Orbit shaders. Now, out of the 4 Dead Orbit shaders, 3 of them I really like, 1 of them I don't. Now that don't work too well right there, but we're going to try changing it out with a cloak soon enough. We've got the Chatter White. Now Chatter White works really well, and you'll see when we change the cloak shortly. We're getting down to the Nowhere. Again, this actually kind of works, but not with this cloak. And Debt Unpaid. And again, Debt Unpaid works, but again, not with this cloak. So, I say we will start with the default, alright? And we're gonna pop on some cloaks. So, let's have a look at some nice ones. Now, we know I've got a few new ones which I really enjoy. So a lot of people might be inclined to actually wear no cloak and be wearing something like this, which is interesting. So the Cloak of SHADOWJACKS, this is a nice one I found. We've got the new Iron Banner cloak. Now this one, the Spectre cloak, I think is brilliant. Doesn't quite work with that colour in. So let's have a look at some of the colours with the Spectre cloak. Let's go with the Old Guard straight off. I mean, the Old Guard, yeah, that works pretty well. Black and white cloak back in. It's black with tints of blue in there. Okay, this is not going to work with it. Oh, actually, that's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Now the Thunder Devil, that'll definitely work. I mean, look at that. That works perfectly with that cloak. Yeah, that's looking good. Not too keen on the Bitter Steel. And Chatter White again. You know, that works. That works okay. And the Nowhere, not too bad either. So, if we get rid of the shader again, and let's have a look at... Come on, we know Tannic Cloak's got to be one of most people's favourites. Let's look at the Tannic Cloak. Now, I love this cloak. Default shader doesn't quite work. Actually, you know, it's not too bad. But I love the default colour of the Future Warcult armour there. I think it's brilliant. I love the colour I've chosen. So, let's have a look at the Nowhere. Now, so it's the cloaks you've got black and orange there. The Nowhere, it's a little too washed for me. That's the only problem with that shader, I think. The Old Guard, now that looks pretty badass, you know. That's like a deeper black. You know, he's got the Future Warcult scanning. Like, now, is my character now Knight Rider, the car, Kit, you know, from Knight Rider? Is it the car, or is it a Centaurian from Battlestar Galactica? I don't know. They're both badass. I could be both of them. I'll decide in future. So let's have a look at Debt Unpaid with... now that looks just fantastic. Yeah, that looks brilliant. The Tannic Cloak, it's got grey, red trim. The entire Future Warcult armour set's gone red. It's kept some of its yellow and tiny bit of... It's got rid of its blues, it's kept its yellow and reds. Now let's have a look at the God of War, shall we? And look at that. Oh yeah. Like, there's no messing around there, is there? You know, that's something you would wear down, that's something you would wear anywhere. You'd walk into a nightfall with that. You're like, yeah, I'm here. I'm coming to do some business, fellas. Get out of my way. And of course, we've got the Thunder Devil. That just works on everything. Not as good as the God of War, but, you know, still liking it. Still liking it. We did try this Splendor. Yeah, no, we didn't try it yet. Okay. Again, definitely one of my favourite sets by far. One of my favourite sets by far. That and the God of War and the Debt Unpaid are really working for me right now. We've got the Lost City. Now the yellows have always done it for me. Not too good on this. Still looks great, but like it's the yellow works better with other cloaks and items. And of course, Chatter White. That looks absolutely brilliant. The Chatter White. You know, you've got a tarnished cloak at the back there. Looks really good. And the Bitter Steel, that's an okayish one. So if we go back to default real quick, I hope you don't mind the video being too long, guys. I just like that. I love making my characters look like absolute beasts. So I want to show you this cloak. Now it's the Long Tomorrow cloak, and you probably know it. Now it doesn't change colour, but I'm going to try some shaders with it because some shaders will work with it. and it's Crucible rep based cloak. Now actually that actually works with the default shader, but what I love about this cloak is like the high collars on each side of the hood, and then the split down the back, you know, with the two what you would consider leather, you know, partitions maybe, I don't know. Okay, let's have a quick look at some. So bit of steel, yeah, that kind of works with it. The nowhere. Again, any sort of generic black and white is probably going to work with this type of cloak. And it is one of my favourites. It is one of my favourite cloaks actually. I don't know how it's going to work with God of War because there's no colour change. Doesn't quite work with a colour change there. Debt Unpaid works okay with that because of the grey. Now there's some of the grey in there. And this cloak actually works much better with the Rise of Iron armor sets, the not the faction sets, but the actual, you know, Days of Iron and the Iron Banner stuff because of the nature of it. Yeah, I mean, not too bad, not too bad. You got the pure white. The pure white always works. That's probably the best we can hope for that cloak, I think. So now this cloak. Which I found recently. I really like this cloak. Now, you look at the symbols on the back. It means something. I don't know what it means. Is it a Jade Rabbit sign? It's something, and I think it's important for some reason. Twilight Gap highlighted desperate need for proactive strikes to keep the enemy off balance. Twilight Gap was one of the big fights. Okay, so that cloak, now I think that looks really nice and pure with a chatter white. Okay, now if we default it real quick, the colour is not so great on its own, but there are shaders. The natural colour, the natural default colour of the new Knight's armour from the Iron Banner actually worked really well with it. But I think it does change colour. Yep, so we've got it in black there. That looks pretty nice. You know, black and white there. So look at the nowhere. Okay, that's quite interesting. You know, you've got like an off grey with white and an orange trim. And what about the God of War? How does that play? Now that looks fantastic, doesn't it? Seriously, that looks fantastic. There's something about that cape in that God of War that looks really nice. Again, Debt Unpaid works. Red hood, grey cloak back. You know, they've split that. We've got the Old Guard. Not too keen on the Old Guard as a shader. Like the camo, I don't really like the effect. The Armour Splendor, again, that works. You know, still something about this works. This shader in particular works on the future Warcult sets. They really nailed it with that one. And of course the yellow, and that works too. That works alright as well. Yeah, that works okay as well. So I think we'll just about leave it there, guys. Now I'll just quickly show you. That's the new cloak that we got from the Iron Banner. But of course, like when you know, add certain colours to it, you know, you get the change. And again, things seem to work. It's looking pretty goddamn good. But I won't spoil it with that. We'll leave it there, guys. So, future Warcult. Let's get the future Warcult cape back on. Let's get this bad boy into default. Do you see? Default looks great, but this is still my favourite. The orange, you know. And there you go, guys. So for me, collecting these armor sets is like, it's been a real grind, and you know how the RNG works, so it's been a real pain in the arse. So this is the old set. Now the next video I'm going to put up will be the new set that I've just got. Totally different design, they've gone for totally different colour schemes, and what we'll do again is we'll apply some of the new shaders, some of the new cloaks to see if we can get a good look, because as much as it is about getting the right perks on your armour, Destiny is about looking cool as fuck. Anyway guys, I'm sorry that's such a long video. I hope you did watch it to the end. I hope you appreciate what I'm trying to do with the collection videos from the armour sets, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. So cheers.